Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Moa, aka Swedish Whiskey Girl, and today we are going to have a look at two very festive whiskies. But before we do, just want to say that this video is in paid collaboration with Douglas Lane, and I'm really thrilled about it because at the same time as I got this opportunity to review these, I actually had messages from some of you asking if I could review these, so perfect timing. And we're going to have a look at the Scallywag Winter Edition and Big Peat Christmas Edition for this year, 2021. And these are both part of their regional malts. So it's blended malts that are made with only single malts from that region. So Scallywag is for Speyside and Big Peat is for Islay. So these two are limited editions, but they also have kind of your core release versions of these two. And the Scallywag is 100% sherried in Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez with a combination of casks from, let's see, Macallan, Mortlach and Glenrothes amongst others. And Big Peat is made with whiskey from Ardbeg, Bowmore, Colilla and Port Ellen. Both natural colour, non-chill filtered, and cask strength. So Big Peat is 52.8 and Scallywag is 53.1, I think. Yeah, great. So we are going to try Scallywag first and then we're going to try Big Peat. Trying to think if there was something else I wanted to say. I mean, peat and sherry is just great for this time of year, so I'm really looking forward to trying them. But let's start by having a look on the nose on the Scallywag. That's what I want to say. I love these little labels that are quite festive and the little hat on the Scallywag. And when I opened the Big Peat, it really made me smile. You can see this, the character of Big Peat, a fisherman from Islay, I believe it is. And he's in his kilt, sledging down probably one of the hills on Islay. And I love it. It looks great. But yes, to the whiskey. Let's have a look on the nose first. Definitely sherry that comes out straight away. A touch of that lovely petrol note. Yeah, because it's like this kind of raisin sherry chemical notes that I usually get on sherry whiskies. But it's quite sweet and surrounded by a little bit of gingerbread spice and like plums and raisins and honey. I'm trying to think if it's a little bit cold in here. I mean, it is getting cold in Scotland, so I'm just gonna make sure that the dram isn't too cold so we can get all the loveliness out. Almost a bit like orange gingerbread. It has a really inviting kind of almost, yeah, like orange gingerbread, like a cookie note on the nose. So let's have a little taste. Sláinte. Definitely warming and big because of that ABV. It still has a note of orange for me. And quite spicy, but still quite sweet. I will add water later on as well. I mean, definitely sherried. And I think you're getting notes from both the PX and the Oloroso in there. The Oloroso brings a little bit more, kind of tannins, a little bit drier wood spice, and then you also have the raisins and how do I explain this? A thicker fruitiness and sweetness coming through. Really nice balance in this one, because if you watched the channel before, you know I don't like when whiskies tend to be too woody, which some sherried whiskies have a tendency to do, or a tendency to be, and this just has a little bit of orange, has a little bit of spice, a little bit of wood, and it's, don't know if it's because I know it's festive, but it is very festive. And I mean, it does have a note of that. Of course, I've never tasted petrol, and no one should, but it's like a slight chemical note. But I think it is because I love the scent of petrol. It's what I imagine that would be if it was a nice flavour. Still definitely find that. It is quite high in ABV, so we are going to add some water. Let's do that now, and we'll try that straight away. I don't have my fancy little thingy, so I'm just gonna pour some of this. Make sure it's all blended together. It's a little bit more chocolatey now. Yeah, definitely a little bit more like chocolate. And the spice seems to have gotten a little bit softer. Not as much orange anymore, I would say, on the nose, but let's try it again. It definitely does make the spice a little bit more soft. Also brings out a little bit more of the wood notes, and it's yeah, a little bit less like chocolates. No, like orange, like orange gingerbread. The spice turns a little bit more towards cloves, I would say. I love cloves. But it still has a bit of that thick fruitiness, but underneath the woodiness now. I'm trying to think, maybe I did prefer it without the water. I mean, if you are someone who likes a bit of sherry, a little bit about a big kind of a dram to kind of sit with throughout the evening, I think this would be a good one, especially for the festive times. Can definitely see how it makes a good Christmas gift. But on to the peat. Let's start by having a nose. This is what I love about Big Peat, because I don't know, it has a similar character every time I come back to it, and it's coastal. It's a salty, like a sea breeze, and I mean, you know I'm a little bit of a romantic at heart, so if I close my eyes and I nose this, it's just like standing on a pier by the sea, and it's wonderful. Not actually getting a lot of that alcohol on the nose yet, or maybe I'm damaged. Just trying to pick out things, and I think yeah, quite coastal, quite salty, but also has a touch of a sweetness. So like like a Colila sweetness, but it's yeah, a little bit ashy still, a little bit bonfire, but mostly, if I was just to describe this as easy as what am I trying to say, as simple as I possibly could, it would be coastal smoke. Well, let's try it. Sláinte Skål. My throat is making noises. I don't know if you can hear them, but apologies about that. I can tell straight away with this one that I don't need to add any water to it because I really like the flavours I'm getting right now. But you could add water because it is quite strong, it is warming, it is quite punchy, but because it has a juicy, I usually describe this as a juicy ex-bourbon. I don't know what cask they've used, but if there's usually some sort of like maybe first full ex-bourbon influence, that's the kind of juiciness I'm getting, and that just marries really well with the smokiness that is quite bonfire-y. I don't think it's as coastal on the palate as it is on the nose. Also have to check now. A little bit of a coastal note, but I would say it's more coastal on the nose than on the palate. On the palate, it's more of a bonfire note. It is still a powerful smoke. I'm not very peat blind today, that is definitely a big thing I'm getting. But it's, I don't know, it's like the smoke is wrapped in this juicy fruitiness and warmth that is just suits my preference for peated whiskies really well. I know a lot of people love like a sherried peated whiskey. I prefer ex-bourbon cask in 90 out of 100 cases, and because this tastes like it's just nice ex-bourbon influence and it has the big smoke, but it's not, the peat doesn't take over everything else, which is what I really like about it. I like when there's a balance between them. So yeah, we are gonna add some water just to see what happens with it. Because, I mean, not everyone wants to drink whiskey at 52%, almost 53. It brings out more of the coastal notes. It brings out the sea even more. The sea and a bit of a grassiness. And almost a nuttiness, like a hazelnuttiness in a way. This is funny. So it's still, for me, really nice with the water. It takes down those quite powerful aromas that on the first sip, it's almost like they've entwined and fighting to get different directions. And now you kind of soften out the edges and it's probably a little bit more balanced, I would say, but it's because those big characters, even though I'm saying they're fighting before, it's not like they're fighting and being really uneven, not suiting together. But it just, if you like that big powerful flavour, then without water it's lovely. And if you like when you just suit out the edges but you still get the same flavours coming through, then a little bit of water would be my recommendation. Yeah, quite salty, and on the finish it's almost a little bit biscuity. Interesting. We are going to go back to the Scallywag once more, just to see what it does. Now this is with water, after we try the Big Peat. The nose with those sherry notes, it's just lovely. I think we're back a little bit to the orange, so yeah, but it's more orange chocolate than orange gingerbread now, I think, with the water. Yeah, it's like a chocolatey, woody cloves mix now. Yeah, I mean, I love expressions like these, and they're the storytelling behind it is so much fun. I think for me personally, the Big Peat is probably my favourite right now, because I'm also not in a sherry kind of journey at the moment. But I think if someone likes sherry, they want something festive, they want something a little bit more exclusive that you can't just get every day, because they're both limited releases. I think, I'm trying to look, the Scallywag's 4,200 bottles, and the Big Peat is also limited, but I can't see it right now. And if you know someone who likes a little bit of sherry and a little bit of peat, maybe this would be a great gift for them or for yourself. They retail at approximately £50, I believe. And yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Douglas Lane. Have you tried any of their remarkable regional malts? Have you tried any of their Old Particular series? One of the best whiskies that I have ever had, I think, is a Glenrothes from the Old Particular series. It's just so good. I still remember it, and it's just one of those whiskies that was a wow whiskey. So yeah, I love whiskey memories like that. And I would love to hear your recommendations if you've tried any of the previous Christmas releases or the winter editions or the core range, and which one's your favourites. Please let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you do want to support the channels, I've put my links to my other social channels in the link here below, and my affiliate links to Master Malt, the Whiskey Exchange and the Scotch Malt Whisky Society. But I hope to see you in the next video, and I hope you're enjoying the advent calendar. Sláinte Skål!